What is up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It is time for the latest roster update. I believe it's number 8. 7 in the books, number 8 coming out now. Let me get my sheet pulled up here, and I've got some names for you folks. Now, just so you know, if you subscribe to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Spore, you get the full list, which this week is 92 names. We've got 42 of them to share with you. So listen, I know not everyone can subscribe to the Twitch channel. I totally get that. Still want to give something for y'all to increase your bankrolls. So this is that in action here. So let's just get started. We go commons up to the gold, up to the diamonds, I should say. And let's start with an interesting starting pitcher for the Yankees. His name is Luis Gil. Looks like Gil, it's pronounced Heel. And he's been pitching very well. I think he has 2 really good starts in a row, if I recall correctly. He was sent out recently. I think that's just a roster shuffling sort of move. He's going to be back again. Now, I will say, one of the issues as far as getting him higher than the bronze I have him going to here is going to be a cluster of talent that's going to maybe start to play a little bit on how much availability he has. With Cole, Montgomery on the COVID IL, they'll eventually be back, of course. Germán has shoulder inflammation, which is not deemed to be super serious right now. Then you have Nestor Cortez, Jamison Taillon, Luis Gil. All of a sudden, Andrew Heaney. Now you're at 7. So Cole, Montgomery, they're guaranteed when they're healthy. Taillon, Heaney, I think, is 2. So that's Germán, Cortez, and Gil kind of battling it out. He will get to bronze here, but maybe don't go too much further thinking that he can get to silver, even though he's pitched very well. Next up is our boy Spiderneck. He's been having some success, and it's a little bizarre. I don't quite fully believe it, although if Vlad's watching, I completely believe it. You're an absolute superstar stud, and nobody should ever question your talent whatsoever. But really, the skills, they're a little light. And again, I don't fully believe exactly what's going on with him. I think he's playing a little bit over his head. However, he's playing well enough to get to bronze, and that's important if you want to keep using Spiderneck. So go ahead, wait for that bronze update. You saw what I just did there. I just sold one of mine because it's so cheap. Look at how cheap he is. He's so dirt cheap right now that you're not going to want to quick sell for your profits. You're going to have to put in sell orders, but that's how you can do it, man. I mean, you can make over 100 stubs per here pretty easily as long as you're willing to be patient and put in the time. Now, this next guy I think could go silver. If they let him go the rest of the year, Josiah Gray is pitching remarkably well. I've got him going up to a 67 here. He is the big piece coming over. Well, he and Keibert Ruiz are probably kind of equal. I don't know that one is necessarily much better than the other. But they were 2 dynamic pieces that came over in the Scherzer-Turner deal. And Gray's been excellent in his 2 starts. 12 strikeouts in 10 innings, 8 hits, 4 walks. Only a couple homers allowed. Homers are kind of his issue right now, but homer per 9, not the biggest deal in MLB The Show. He needs to shave down the walks a little bit if he's going to get silver, but the strikeouts and hit suppression are both already there. That's going to put him into the high 60s, maybe low 70s. They might do kind of a reshuffle here. I put him for 4 points to 67, but you look at what he's done all year. He could get a hell of a K boost and a decent hit 9 boost. That might even get him to like 70 right now, and then he would only need 5 points. But again, he needs to trim those walks if he's going to get there. Very intriguing young arm to keep an eye out there for. This one pisses me off, man, and I'm going to explain, not the player. I like the player a lot. That's why I'm so pissed that the Royals seem to hate Edward Olivares. I don't get it, folks. He's been called up and sent back out 412 times this year. That might be an underestimate, not an overestimation. That might be an underestimation because they're playing games and I don't understand what the deal is here. I'm trying to pull up his stats. His stats aren't off the charts because they're not really giving him an opportunity, but I wanted to tell you his minor league stats to give you an idea of how good this guy is and how the Royals, in no way, shape, or form, do they have enough talent that this guy needs to keep getting sent out. Like, I'm flabbergasted by it. I'm pissed by it. I really am. It's so annoying to watch. I lost my tab here. Pardon me. I'm kind of a dweeb sometimes. Sometimes he says, as if it's not always. But yeah, he's hitting 322, 395, 572 with 13 homers, 12 steals in 233 AAA plate appearances. You're going to sit there and tell me that the Royals can't fit that on their club, I'm supposed to just accept that? I don't think so. It's horseshit. It really is. Honestly, like, I'm playing it up a little bit for humor, but really, it's a joke. He's 25 years old. What the hell are they doing? Like, they've done some good things in recent history here, right? They won a World Series. They made two, right? They won one, lost one. They lost to the Giants. They beat the Mets. So, like, I don't know, that's starting to get up to be a few years ago now, but they've done some good things. Dayton Moore has shown himself to be better than I thought. Like, before they kind of made those World Series runs, I was like, this guy, not very good at what he's doing there. And then I said, you know what? I was wrong. He is. He knows what he's doing. He's making some good moves. But I'm looking here. I'm pulling up their roster. There's a guy named Emmanuel Rivera, and I got no shade on Mr. Rivera. But what's he doing up? Now, that's a position thing. He plays third. Olivares is an outfielder, so that's a little unfair, so I don't want to attack Rivera there. But for the outfield, they have Benintendi. I know he's obviously going to keep playing. Michael A. Taylor and Hunter Dozier. Benny and Dozier have some history that suggests that they should probably still be playing. But what the hell has Michael A. Taylor done? I'm sorry, nothing. Nothing that should be blocking a 25-year-old. I realize we're on like our fourth name and I have sidetracked completely on Olivares. I'm sorry. Let's pick up the pace. Let's go to the Pirates, an organization that's building and realizes, hey, we have a young player who could be good for us. Let's keep him up. And so Hoi-Jun Park is up for them and playing. He's bouncing around all over the place, playing a little outfield, infield action. He's going to get a boost, I think, up to a nice 69. Keep an eye on him. He doesn't really have a lot of power, but the contact is there. I don't think silver's in the cards, but a nice little boost up there for him, and he's kind of making a name for himself a little bit. Let's go out to Cleveland. Talk about one of their up-and-coming starters. You knew that the year wouldn't go by without them having a few up-and-coming starters, right? Especially when everybody got hurt. That was expected to be in the rotation. Eli Morgan, very intriguing young arm, 23 years old. I got him going up to a 70. One of the reasons I wanted to highlight him is because he's showing some growth over the last few starts that if it continues, he could definitely be somebody who pushes silver in September. September silver, as we call him. I love alliteration. You guys probably know that from everything I like. I like rhymes and alliteration. I'm a simple person. So September silver here for Eli Morgan is definitely in the cards if he continues to pitch like this. If you want to keep an eye on him and figure out like what's the one thing that could really kind of push him forward, it's rarely just one thing, but he has one major issue that he needs to overcome, and it's getting deeper into games. His performance the second time through is catastrophic currently. He has a 514 OPS the first time through. So first time through the lineup, he's dusting fools, man. Getting strikeouts, gassing fools left and right, not walking anybody, just doing great. 26% strikeout rate in that first time through. Second time through, he becomes a high school pitcher pitching in the major leagues. 1266. Loses it completely. Total ineffectiveness. I don't know if that's sequencing, if his stuff just isn't good enough, if there's something that he's doing. Does he fatigue quickly? What is it? But they've got to figure it out. Now, over the last couple starts, started to get a little bit better. Even against a team like Toronto. They hit a homer or two. I think there were 2 solo shots. But he looked better that second time through against a very tough opponent. Now, the very few times that he's gotten a third time through, it goes back down to 696, and that's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because he's not going to get to the third time through if he's not pitching well enough in those first 2 times. So it makes sense why that would be so much better than the second time through. So there is some work to be done. You see that 16 PCLT, that's pitcher clutch. That's because he has a 1051 OPS with runners in scoring position. He needs to tighten up the second time through, and when the going gets tough with runners in scoring position, and then he can really take that next step. I trust Cleveland's pitching development a lot, so I really like Eli Morgan. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him. Now this is going to be our test, okay, about where I'm at with regards to when the update locks. I've told you guys before that I operate as though it locks on Tuesday night, which is, I think, accurate, except when it's not. And what I mean by that is I believe that there's been instances where somebody has a big Wednesday afternoon and they still kind of finagle it in there because it's going to move the needle enough that it's worth getting in there and kind of adjusting it. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes they don't lock until Wednesday afternoon. Maybe they always lock Wednesday morning and I've just been operating on the Tuesday night thing of my own volition. Here's a test. Mr. Louis Brinson. All right? He's on fire right now, and he popped 2 more homers. Now, I had this update coming before today. I had him going to a 70. If he goes a good bit higher, I think his 2 home run afternoon, both came against lefties, by the way, will be reflected in that, and we'll get a better idea of how often Wednesday afternoon performances sneak on into the update. So we'll keep an eye on that. If he goes up to like a 72, 73, I think there might be something to it. If it is closer to where I'm at with the 70, then maybe it is, as I see it, where Tuesday night locks, and then that 2-homer game is going to be counted in the next update. By the way, I'm still completely suspect on this breakout. I want him to be a breakout candidate and pan out to the level that his prospect hype warranted, but he still has terrible plate skills, meaning he strikes out too much, doesn't walk enough, so it's probably just a hot run. A good comp right now for somebody who did this by the way, a hot run can last for multiple months, and the name I'm going to give you is going to crystallize that. Adolis Garcia was great for the entire first half, looking like he's going to have a full season of greatness, but it caught up to him. The fact that he strikes out just way too much and doesn't kind of offset it by walking here and there, it really, really hurts. And it's caught up to Garcia. It will catch up to Brinson unless he makes a change. But for now, it's all good. He's performing well. Enjoy. Let's go out to Boston. Talking about another guy who's been getting jerked around. It's first off, they need to move him to from SP to RP, or from RP to SP. So that alone, okay, this changes my entire scope, by the way, because if they make the move, then he can go to silver here. Because Houck, if you are unfamiliar, when you go from RP to SP, you get like 4 points just with that move. No matter if nothing else is touched, you usually get like 4 to 5 points. Snap right there. Also, he needs to get updated because his strikeouts, walks, and hits can all use a little love. And I think if they move him to SP as they should, then he's a silver. So keep an eye on that with Houck. He is getting jerked around a little bit where they're kind of sending him out when they don't need him. I think they need to realize that they're going to miss the freaking playoffs. That's my prediction, by the way, after the deadline. I have them losing out and missing the playoffs. But they're really going to miss it if they don't freaking have Tanner Houck starting. Now, I believe he's supposed to start tomorrow, but stop sending him out, okay? It's annoying. Kick Garrett Richards out of the rotation. One of my favorite players of this current era. I love Garrett Richards, but I can be honest about a favorite player. And when they're not good, you got to call it out, and he's not pitching well at all. I personally don't even think Eduardo Rodriguez needs to be holding a spot, but fine, I'll leave him alone. So Sale, Evaldi, Houck, Erod, Pivetta. There you go. That's it. Martin Perez, Garrett Richards, you're going to the bullpen. It's not that hard. So please stop doing it. And SDS, please move Houck to SP. He deserves it. So guys, save for silver here. This is a silver candidate now because of the potential move. Speaking of trades, actually I didn't say anything about trades. Why did I say that? Why did I say speaking of trades? I didn't mention a trade. That was a bullshit segue. I fell off my segue, okay? You know, it was a little... I hit a rock and rolled off of it because that was a shit segue. But this guy was traded out to the Mariners, and I think he's already gotten 1 boost, and he's ready for another one. I got him up to a 72. He needs to get a lot of love. He's been crushing it since joining the Mariners. And I know there was a lot of consternation over that trade. I thought... Listen, I know the optics were kind of ugly because Kendall Graveman had just played a role in a big comeback against the Astros, who you were playing at the time, and then you trade within that series right there. You trade him over the very next day. The optics were bad, okay? But the team got better. Shut up, quit whining, and enjoy the fact that Jerry made the team better. You weren't going to make the playoffs anyway. But Abraham Toro was a nice piece for them for the now and for the future. Let's go back out to Cleveland, because you know when I said that they had some starters rolling, that it wasn't just going to be one. That's not the way that Cleveland works. Cal Quantrill's also pitching very well. I got him up to a 73. His skills are not jumping off the page right now. To me, it's a little bit like a baby Savali, who you know I've been a huge fan of. Unfortunately, he's hurt right now. So it's that same sort of vein where when you watch him, you can understand why there could be some strikeout upside, but he's not quite delivering on it right now. So you're not not going to really get a K boost. This is about getting the walks boosted and a little bit of hit 9 love for what he's been doing of late. His full season hit 9 is still kind of weak, but recently he has stifled hits pretty well, not allowing more than 4 in any of his last 5 outings. That's 19 hits over 30 innings with 28 strikeouts. So that's even very close to a strikeout per inning, which would be better than a 45. So I see some love here. There is some silver upside. He's not getting there this time, but if he continues to pitch like we've seen, then Cal Quantrill becomes a save for silver as well. Some of you are probably surprised that this guy's not a silver already, but it's not SDS's fault or anything. Like, they're not missing the boat on Emmanuel Clase. I don't think he should be a silver yet. However, he's approaching. I've got him up to a 74 here, which means he's knocking right there on the door. And I think it's very close now. And what he's doing in this recent run, or what he's not doing, is walking guys. He's finally curbing the walks, which has been very helpful. Over his last 11 2/3 innings, 1 walk, which is fantastic. Now, the strikeouts haven't quite been there during that full time. It's only 10 strikeouts, but last 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. A strikeout per inning, though, is not going to get a boost. 68 is about a strikeout per inning for a reliever. So he really needs to amp it up into double digits. The issue is, and if you watch Clase, you see this, he's not a huge swing and miss guy. He's a break your bat for a 30-mile-an-hour exit velo grounder type of guy. 69% ground ball rate. Now, unfortunately, there's not a way for SDS to kind of put that in the game. There's no fly ball, ground ball metric or anything. So there's not necessarily a way for that to play out. That said, a lot of people still love using him as a bronze reliever for BR because he has such nasty stuff. And I think that will continue to be the case. He is a save for silver because even if the strikeouts don't come, I believe his hit suppression and walk suppression can get him there. Maybe even this time. Maybe I'm short on this one, but I still think a 74 here and then a silver next time out. Pardon me. Let's stay in the bullpen. Jump out to the Braves while I hit a couple hiccups there. Pardon me. And we'll go to Tyler Matzek, who's been pitching very well of late. I've got him going up to a 74 as well. He's just kind of clicking quietly. Braves are a little bit in limbo. They had that win one, lose one for like 3 weeks or something. They are still very much in the thick of things. Matzek is the key role for their bullpen to get to the bridge, or part of the bridge to Will Smith. And I think he's got a silver upside here as well. Let's talk about a guy who recently got a tops now, which means he's got to get a boost. Obviously, if you're playing that well, you got to get some love. And that's Connor Joe, who is right here. I've got him going to a 74 as well. He's just been tearing the cover off the ball. As you can see, like I mentioned, he got a tops now very recently, and it went very well for him. You see how big it is against lefties, which means he's likely to get the boost primarily against lefties. But he's kind of balanced right now, so whatever he gets will help, and he'll go to a 74. Now let's get into some new silvers. Got a big Rookie of the Year candidate here for you that you might have not be paying a lot of attention to. You might not be paying a ton of attention to him. He's sliding under the radar a little bit. He's a 72 right now. Where are we at? Jonathan India, there he is. I got Jonathan India getting silver finally. Now, I say finally, again, that's not a slam on SDS like, oh, they're finally getting it right. He's had production that has been good, but doesn't quite translate to MLB The Show excellence. And that's been part of the issue where it's like, he's got this great OBP at over 400 for most of the year. It's at 399 right now. Some homers, some speed, but none of it's really jumped off of like, he's got to get a fat upgrade here, and now all of a sudden he's going to be silver and maybe gold. No, it's been like quality everywhere, but not a composite silver yet. I think that changes though. Starting to hit a lot better over the last 28 days. 292, 404, 583 with 7 homers. I think we're going to see some love to the core. Well, 3 of the core 4. I don't think his contact against lefties is going to go up any higher. He's hitting 345 against them. The 95 that it's at is good, but both power metrics can get some love, and the contact versus right might be able to get a little bit of love for his recent success. 75 for Jonathan India. Next up, another new silver. Stay with his teammate right there. Speaking of tops now, or player of the month. He got a player of the month card. Kyle Farmer, out of his mind lately, and I think he's going to get himself to silver as well. You see that the +4s against righties gets him to 74. It won't be terribly difficult to get him up to silver then with a little bit of extra love. I'm actually going to pull up his splits real quick because I kind of don't remember them, and I want to be accurate here. I don't like to just make stuff up. So in this period, which again starts Wednesday the 28th of July, in that time he has a 1071 OPS against lefties, 836 against righties. Big batting average against both, so a big contact boost against righties is coming. Some power love against lefties and righties, and that should get Kyle Farmer to silver. Can he go gold? I'm going to say no. I don't think so. I think he's already starting to come back to earth a bit, and if he does go cold and Nick Senzel gets back, he's going to start losing playing time. Let's stick with another one in the NL Central. This is a newcomer to the ball club, and Rowdy Tellez is on fire. Now, I was a big Rowdy Tellez fan coming into the year, and he didn't quite pan out to the level that I expected. He had a big strikeout rate gain last year that I was like, if he holds some of these gains, he's going to be a beast for Toronto, and it just wasn't going well. However, the strikeout thing was legit, and in fact, over the last 2 weeks, this period that we're studying here, he has a 13% strikeout rate. That's amazing. With a 9% walk rate, he's killing lefties. So that's going to get him a big boost. He's actually been kind of mediocre against righties. He might get some contact love, but the lefty numbers are going to keep going up. I know Rowdy Tellez is a popular bench bat option for BR folks. I haven't really used him that much, but his swing is clean, and if he can hit against lefties, you can bring him in as a pinch hitter, and even if they bring in that lefty, you're not afraid. So Tellez is going to go up to a silver here. Got him getting 275. Next up, a former teammate of Tellez's. Now that segue works because we're going out to the Blue Jays, and we're going to talk about their closer. That's the Rays. I'm an idiot. Oh, keep going. Their closer, who's not listed as closer, but he will be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change rating. But it's Jordan Romano here. I got him going up to a 76. He's been pitching very well of late. He's been pitching pretty well all year, but I feel like every time it gets close to update time, he'll have like a little blip. He'll like walk a couple guys or give up a couple hits and keep him from getting over that hump there. He's been a little bit under the radar, and he missed some time due to injury, I believe, early in the year, if I'm correct. I think I might be wrong, though. No. Yeah, middle of April, very early in the year. So we're way past the injury at this point. But anyway, looking at what he's been doing over this last update period, 12 strikeouts in 7 innings, just 2 walks, 6 hits. 2 walks is the key there. The walk rate's ready to jump up a little bit. Start giving him some love, and then if he really performs and the walk rate is legit, then he can start pushing it up into the 60s, maybe even the 70s if he really does well. That would be like an end of year move. I'm talking like high 50s, low 60s is the upside right now, and the strikeouts are really popping off. There is potential for gold here. This is a long-term hold for gold. I love Jordan Romano. I think he's an absolute beast of a pitcher. I think if you're interested in getting in on the ground floor and you can be patient, that is the key. You have to be patient here because this one's going to take a while. He needs to keep not walking guys for a long period of time, keep getting a ton of strikeouts. The hit suppression's already there, and Jordan Romano can absolutely go gold. So this is one of my long-term hold for golds. I got him going to silver this week, though, for sure. Let's go out over to the Twins, talk about Luis Arraez. I got him rising up to silver. Stupid pun. Please stop watching the video. I'm a bad person. I got him going up to a 76. He's just playing well of late. It's time to move up. No need to belabor that one. Another newcomer to the team, lefty reliever Andrew Chafin, has been popping off all year. That's why he was a trade candidate. You see those plus 13s gets him to gold. Is he a hold for gold candidate? Not quite. I got him going up to a 76 right now. Let me see what he's doing overall. Could he be a long-term H4G? Well, if he keeps pitching the way he's been with Oakland for 6 2/3, he does that the rest of the year, sure. But that would be pretty outsized, an outsized performance. He has a 0 ERA and a .45 whip. So yeah, if he keeps doing that, doesn't walk anybody, gives up like no hits, and gets a ton of strikeouts. But let's look at his composite season. 8.8 strikeout per 9. That's decent. That's why he's got a 69. Nice. 2.3 walk rate. That's what needs to go up. That's what he's going to get silver off of. 4.7 hit rate. It's already at an 87. So how could he go gold? Well, let's figure out where he gets to on the walk rate this week. So when I do the roster update review, I will focus on Chafin and talk about his gold candidacy, because if they put it up to like a 66 walk rate right now and a little bit on the K9. I think it's still going to be those two that are going to be the primary focus. Obviously, hit suppression could go higher, because if he keeps just not allowing any hits, you can go beyond 87. But the real way to attack this and possibly go gold is to stop walking everybody and get more strikeouts. So Chafin, not as strong as Romano. It's a fringier hold for gold, but I'll talk more about whether or not I want to invest in it on Friday when I do the roster update review. For now, save for silver though, easy. He'll be there this week, I believe. Let's go back out to Colorado, talk about one of their no longer prospects. I think he's used his prospect eligibility, but he's still an interesting player. 27, could be one of those late bloomer types. If you could just stop striking out so much. That's the biggest issue with Sam Hilliard. There's a lot of talent here. He's a power speed guy who's been popping off. I think he had a 3-homer game, if I'm correct on that. If at least a multi-homer game, I'm pretty sure, but I think there was a 3-homer game in there. Here's the problem. The reason he's only silver type is because he's heavy platoon. In this update period, 1141 OPS against righties, 500 against lefties. So while he does have some dynamic skills, it's really only going to be a silver until he figures out how to hit lefties and to stop striking out. Now we're going to get some silver to silver guys who will be our next gold candidates. Let's jump back out to Oakland. Talk about a guy we talked about a couple weeks ago in Sean Manaea. Thought he deserved a bigger strikeout gain. And when he got a strikeout dip, we were very perplexed on my stream. And even sent over a little note, just not to be like a jerk about it, just to say, hey, I noticed Manaea got a dip. You know, what's the deal there? He's actually been striking guys out. To their credit, they're like, oh, sorry, that was an accident, mistake. They fixed it because they did the extra update for guys who were traded over. So when they put out that second update, they were able to update his strikeout rate for Manaea. Now, I think they still went a little bit light on it, but he didn't do us any favors by getting just 6 strikeouts over his last 2 starts. So I actually have this as a little bit of a makeup run to get him to 79. But I'm actually looking at this last start, and it just happened yesterday, so that's why I didn't include this. He might get nooched or nothing. I'm actually going to peel off this update a little bit here because he had one bad start against San Diego. Okay, sure, but then Cleveland ripped him yesterday, and I'd already made my notes on everything. I'm kind of out on this one right now until he starts striking guys out again. So they might give him a little trickle into the 60s for the K9 that he'd been doing prior to these last 2 starts, because he does have a 10.0 K9 on the year, but he's not going gold, that's for sure. Not yet. Not for a while. But we do have a special guest. Hello, Shar. Do you have anything to say to people? Hello, guys. Please subscribe to SharVestments.com. It's the best website in the world. It's just $40 a day, and I'll tell you the proper diamonds and golds, unlike my dad, who's stupid and doesn't know anything about baseball. Where are you going? What do you think you see that she needs to get out of my hands for? All right, I'm going to let her go. I don't want to torture my dog. It looked like she was reacting to like a fly or something, but I saw nothing. She has better vision than me, though, so maybe there was something there. Let's go to the White Sox real quick. Talk about somebody I've actually liked for a couple years now. Just kind of under the radar type. Adam Engel. You see he's a 77 right now. So he's a little bit on the radar lately because he's moved himself into a silver. This guy's been a common for years, and he was a bronze, I think, last year. Now he's up to a silver. And there's some hold for gold upside here, folks. I'm getting in on the Adam Engel train because one of the reasons I started to turn and keep a close eye on him, even though he was mid-20s back in 19, was he started to show a little bit of pop. And I was like, where's this late power bloom coming from? Is this something like one of those stories that we see from guys been around for a few years, they link up with the right coach, and bing, bang, boom, things start to click a bit? Well, then in 2020, he only played 36 games, 93 plate appearances. The power was still there, though. And then this year, obviously they have a star-studded team, but Eloy and Robert got hurt. It still didn't open the door completely for Engel, which was a little surprising to me because he has elite defense and speed. So I thought, okay, this is the perfect opportunity for him to get more playing time. Well, it wasn't for whatever reason. But he's made the most of his opportunities. He has an 886 OPS, 7 homers, 7 steals in just 114 plate appearances. The key and the tough part of why this is still more of a hold for gold patience play is because his playing time is still not going to be super high. Because guess who's back? Eloy, and Robert. Now, Eloy should be the DH every day. Vaughn in left field, Robert in center. That still leaves right field available for Engel. They've been playing him a lot lately, batting him second, even though he's a right-hander. If he continues to play well, I think he can keep his lineup spot. But I will say, while I am in on this train and I'm going to be investing here, we need the White Sox to come through for us. I got 50 of them right now, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to buy this one for 142 off rip. Are you kidding me? But just understand, might not be next update, might not be the one after that. This could be a September situation, so just keep an eye on that. If you don't like patient investments, don't join us here. This is for the patient folks. But I do like him to get up to a 79 this time around. Next up, this one's very interesting, folks. There is a little bit of a gamble to this one, I will freely admit, because we need SDS to come through on something for us. And they should. It's absolutely merited, but will they do it? It's Ranger Suarez. Now, he's a 75. I got him going up to a 79. Now, he can get all the way to gold if what happens. If you know what he's been doing lately, you know exactly what I'm about to say. If he gets his position change. Because he's been starting. They pulled a really interesting move. My man was closing for them and doing quite well. And they said, nah, we need to stretch you out. You need to be a starter for us. And he started his last 2 outings going 3 and 2 2/3. So he's not, a full-on starter yet, but they're putting him in the rotation. They're starting him. So I think it needs to be acknowledged on his card that he's an SP now, which is going to do what? Give him like 4 or 5 points off rip. That said, too, if this was like someone who was kind of pitching mediocrely, it was just like mediocre this year, I would say, okay, they're not going to give him the fake boost, so to speak, the position change boost, and overrate him because he hasn't been that good. But he's been excellent. .85 whip, 47 strikeouts, 18 walks, 21 hits in 46 innings of work out of the bullpen and those 2 starts. .98 ERA as well. ERA is not on the card, but I pointed out just to say how great he's been. So he's been a gold pitcher this year. So I think moving him, increasing the stamina a little bit. They don't have to move it to a starter stamina yet because he's only pitching, his max was 61 pitches. But I think there's enough merit here that on his skills alone, he can be a gold so that the position change doesn't just make it some fraudulent jump up. So that's kind of how I see it for Ranger Suarez. I think he should get the boost. I have him as a 79 to protect, but I do believe there's hold for gold upside here because the position change should be able to get him there. I'm in on Ranger Suarez. I got 60 of them. Stay on the bump here. Go out to Colorado. You know how I feel about Colorado starters. They're scary, but Marquez just keeps pitching well. So I got him to a 79. I don't have him there just yet, but another couple of good starts, and he gets gold. So 79 for now, but keep a close eye on him. Let's go back to the Twins, talk about their sweet swinging shortstop. And MLB The Show favorite for me, Jorge Polanco's always had a clean swing. How am I doing with him this year? Poorly. Well, I haven't really been using him. He's 2 for 11. Usually I crush with him and I use him a ton. So I don't know why I've been bypassing him. Maybe because I started poorly and I've just been using other guys. But he's usually a good swing type of guy. I got him going to gold. Getting him up to 80 here. You see he gets to 81 with plus 14. So he's not getting that much. But he doesn't need that much. He's been playing very, very well of late. I think he gets to gold. Jorge Polanco's our first gold here. Let's go out to San Diego. Talk about Austin Nola. He's a little bit under the radar. I don't think people are talking about him a lot, but I think he's getting back to gold. He reached gold last year for us, which was very helpful because we had been investing in him for a while, and I think he's ready to get there again. Now, he's had a little bit of a disjointed season because of health, but he's back, and he's absolutely crushing. This period, he's on fire. 32 plate appearances, 483 average, 500 OBP, 621 slug. So he's just tearing the cover off the ball, contact through the roof. I think that some boosts here, it's not going to take much is the real issue, or not issue, but the real key here for him. His full season has been great as well. 304, 406, 418. Now the power has not really been there, but he doesn't have a ton of power here anyway. So I don't think that they're going to take away a lot of power. I think against lefties, he should get a big contact boost. Against righties, he might stay neutral because, yes, he's hitting against them in the last 2 weeks with a 467 average, but on the season, he's only at 217. That's because of a 209 BABIP, though. So I don't think they should downgrade him either. I think it should be kind of an even, and they'll say, okay, are you getting hot and you're going to be who we expect you to be from here forward? Or is this just a hot streak that's fraudulent? Then he comes back to earth, then they could downgrade him. So I like him for a gold opportunity here. I'm definitely getting invested in Nola. If he only gets 79, let's say they kind of neutralized it a little bit by giving him a little bit of a downgrade on some things and upgrade on others, then I would still have him as a hold for gold because I believe in Austin Nola and I believe his talent will get him there by season's end. This is a big one, folks. It's coming through finally. I believe it. I believe it. It's time. I've called Tyler Mahle for an upgrade multiple times. However, I don't believe I've ever put him in gold. Did I do it last time? Maybe last time. No, I put him at a 79. So despite how much I've loved Tyler Mahle and how much I've been invested in him all year, I have 200. I still haven't put him at gold yet. So I have not been over the SDS market. They've been putting him up the incremental gains that he's deserved. However, I think it's finally time, and the big reason is over this period, he has just 3 walks in 18 innings. That's a 1.5 walks per 9, which is exactly what we needed to get boosted because he has a 58 mark. He's only 1 point away. It has to happen, right? It has to. Come on, Tyler Mahle time. Let's do it. Another one, we talked about him last update, and I mentioned that he's on fire, but he's not going to get there yet. It's too soon. But if he stays hot, then Dansby Swanson will get there. The market's already there, though, so I'm not going to waste too much of your time. There is still a little bit of wiggle room to invest because the market crashed yesterday when the Field of Dreams stuff came out because everyone was, I think, selling everything to try to get Field of Dreams stuff. And that created some buying opportunities on guys who had already been pumped up. So 700 is still a little high to buy in on somebody, but I feel pretty strongly about this gold that you could still do that. I think his contact against righties and lefties is going to get boosted, and some power against righties will get there as well. Boom, going to be an 80 gold time for Dansby Swanson. 2 more new golds. The first one is a reliever for the Mariners. You guys might know this guy went completely the wrong way there. It would have been closer to go to the left. Doesn't matter, but Paul Sewald, whatever his name is. You see this only encourages me that +6s gets him there. I feel even better about this. This was already one of my bigger lock golds of the week anyway, but now I feel even better because such a small update gets him there. But look what he's been doing. He's having an excellent season, first and foremost. So he was already kind of tracking there, but in the recent period that we're investigating here, he's been on fire yet again. And his walk rate at 51 is way too low. He has a 2.8 walks per 9. So I'm not even sure why it's so low to begin with, but that's all right. There's time to catch up. 0 walks in his last 6 2/3 over this period. 10 strikeouts, 4 hits. It's a lock for me. How many do I have? I got 69. That's pretty nice. So I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe I'll get more, though. We'll see how it goes. But I really like what Paul Sewald's doing. All right, another one that we talked about. I did put him as a gold last time. I knew it was lofty, and so I was like, hey, this is not a guarantee, but Willy Adames is getting there this time, y'all, because he's done nothing but stay hot and prove that he deserves it. Now, I understand that they didn't want to go too aggressive last time, and so they kind of made sure, like, okay, well, we like him, but let's not go crazy. Okay, respect, but he's done nothing but continue to just absolutely rake. He has a 1092 OPS over the last update period. It's a lock. And the only reason I'm selling here is because I can get more than the quick sell price. Now, I know some of my Twitch chat has been asking, what about a Destined for Diamond tag for Adames? I'm not going to rule it out. I'll tell you what, though, I need some things in the market to get the Ohtani and Acuna, and I want to get in on some Field of Dreams myself. So I'm going to sell these to get my profit and then come back to him if he does look like somebody who can go diamond. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and take my profits on Adames and see where he goes, because his price is going to bottom out because there's so many of him in the market that he's also a great back order candidate. Let's stick with the Brew Crew. Recent gold, Avisail Garcia goes up to an 81 last time out, gets into gold. I got him going up again. I got an 82, just a little trickle. Here's the thing. If he continues to crush against righties, he could maybe threaten diamond. We're talking end of year though. We're talking last update of the season type of deal. He has a 300 average and 916 OPS against righties in this most recent period. That's not enough to like get plus 13s that we're seeing here. And even that would only get him to 84. So we're a long way out, okay? Do not even start investing in him for diamond yet because it's way too early. Just have it in your brain. Just have it in your brain, okay? This next guy has a better chance at diamond, and I think he's a long way out. But I mentioned that he's back earlier. His name is Eloy Jimenez. Where are you? Gosh, they have so many golds that he's all the way down here. That's wild. But he is an 80 right now. I got him going up 2 points to an 82. Power's going up. Here's the thing. If he hits for average the rest of the year and he's like over 300, he can get there. He could get to diamond because they're also going to play in October. So if he had a big playoff, then that could also boost him, if they go deep. But since returning, he's only hitting 268 so far. But in the last couple of weeks when he's hitting 2 homers in games, like he's just kind of on fire. In August, he's hitting 409 so far. Oh, excuse me. Hang on. It's a little lower than that. He's hitting 300 in August. The only way he gets to diamond is through batting average, but the power is going to get boosted. Going to move up to like an 82 right now and kind of set it up for him. Now we got a couple 84s. So these guys are right on the cusp, and I'm eager to see what happens with them. Gene Segura's been having a hell of a season. Where are you? 82? He's an 83. Oh, is he second baseman? I'm an idiot. Didi's their shortstop. I'm a doofus. There he is. Gene Segura is playing very well of late, and he's having a quiet, great season. You know, everyone's talking about Harper and Wheeler because they are the leaders of that team on the hitting and pitching side, respectively. But you don't become a playoff potential team with just 2 guys, not in baseball. And Gene Segura has been quietly excellent this year. Of late, 1023 OPS. Hitting very well against righties and lefties, so I see a little love everywhere here. I think just 1 point right now, though, because he only has 9 plate appearances against lefties in this update period. So even though he has an 1159 OPS, they can't move it up that much based off of 9 plate appearances. He has done well against righties, though, as well. 353, 436, 559 in 39 plate appearances. A little bit of power love against righties, a little bit of contact love against righties and lefties maybe. Going to be an 84 though, I think. I don't quite think he gets there just yet, but you got to get in now because if he goes 84, people are going to start investing and he's going to cost as much as somebody like Cronenworth at that point. All right, speaking of Philly. Oh, I backed out. There it is. There's one. Damn. Every time. Speaking of Philly, another guy that's done very well for them is, of course, their catcher, JT Realmuto. I got him going up to an 84 as well. I don't quite have him to diamond yet. It's just not quite there. He's going to have to do more to re-earn his diamond, but he is on track and definitely somebody that you can get in on now and just kind of hold. The reason I don't quite have him there yet, though, is because he hasn't really been doing anything against righties, so it has to kind of come against lefties, and he doesn't have that many plate appearances against them. So I see a 1 point trickle up to 84. Then we kind of see what's what. Still plenty of room to invest if you want to get in on the Realmuto train. Another interesting one who we've been kind of focused on all year because he's been so good and updated so many times is Brian Reynolds. I got him to an 84. Again, not yet, but he's knocking on that door and it's going to be close. I think he has a great shot to get there by season's end. The biggest reason why is because the power has maintained. We know he's a contact guy, right? He did that 2 years ago when he broke out. So that's not even surprising or anything. The fact that the power has been present throughout the year is what's really driving this for Reynolds and gives him a real opportunity to get to diamond. I think 84 just this week and then possible diamond down the line. Here's my 84.5, y'all. And I know these are a little bit of cop-outs, but it's because I'm not quite there. And I know some of y'all are. I just want to bring them up because if I didn't talk about him, people would be asking about Kyle Tucker. I don't see it. I don't see it yet. He's already an 84. You can't go to 84.5. This is my, he's right there. He's right there. Will they do it? Won't they do it? I think he gets nooched. So I think he gets a little bit of love against righties and then hit against lefties. Because while it is only 12 plate appearances this period, he hasn't done anything. He has a 200 average and no power, a 200 slug as well. So he has 2 singles in 10 at-bats plus a couple walks. So I think he gets nooched, hurts everyone's feelings, and then you have to reinvest. But he will bottom out at that point, and you can get back in. I love him as a long-term destined for diamond. I just don't love him this week, y'all. All right, now we get into some diamonds here. I think this first one's an obvious one that everyone's already in on, so I won't waste too much time on George Springer. Yeah, he's already there. You can kind of, well, it needs to be 5,500 to make your quick sell price. But yeah, he's getting there. He's been on fire. I don't want to waste too much time. I glossed over somebody earlier. You're probably like, oh, you didn't say anything about that. Don't worry, I'm coming right back to Crony. You already know. Okay, this was like the Adames one. I put it out there last time, and I knew it was kind of like putting it on the table and saying, this is a big one, because his defense was so good, in addition to some offensive boosts, that I thought he could get the 3 points. They only gave him 2 points. I thought they shorted him a little bit on the defense, but that's okay. He's done nothing but continue to rake since then. I think it's time. I think we do get our Cronenworth Diamond. I hope you didn't jump out after last time, though. I really hope that, because there was no reason to do that. And he's not tearing the cover off the ball to the same degree as he did last time, but he's hitting well enough that I think he gets there. Plus, can we get that arm boosted? I know it's one play, but you saw that play in the hole that he made at shortstop where he just fired it over there. This is a diamond player, and if he gets nooched again, or if he gets shortchanged, he didn't get nooched last time. He got a 2-point boost, but if he gets nooched, what that means, by the way, sorry, I'm using that term as if everyone knows it. Just a neutral move where they upgrade some stuff, they downgrade it, and they stay at the same rating. They get nooched. If he gets nooched, I'm not going anywhere. Okay, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm staying on Cronenworth the rest of the year. Teammate Joe Musgrove, he's getting there, folks. It's time. This is kind of like the higher end version of Tyler Mahle, where we've been waiting for a long time on this one, but it hasn't been there for the last couple of updates. And I totally agree with SDS not boosting him because it would have been fraudulent. However, he has gotten back up, gotten on another big run, beasting of late. 24 strikeouts, 5 walks, 10 hits in his last 19 innings. Bring home the diamond time. It's time for Joe Musgrove to go diamond. And then we'll close it off with 3 guys that are diamond to diamond upgrades. None of them are going to 99 though, or 99 to 90. So I know that that's kind of the threshold where people start to invest. But I just want to highlight them because they've been good. But I'll be quick with it. Starling Marte has done nothing but absolutely tear the cover off the ball with Oakland. I got him 2 points, 287. If you're a fantasy player, you know his stolen bases haven't gone anywhere. So any concerns over that were not well founded. Go to the Orioles. I think he's been upgraded every single update. They have to keep the streak going. And he deserves it, by the way. I'm not saying they should do it like, fraudulently and just be like, oh, we're going to keep doing it. No, this dude just does something every 2 freaking weeks to merit another boost. 1025 OPS this period. He deserves another one. Ced Mullins going to 88. Could get to 90 by the end of the year. One of the best breakouts we've seen in recent memory. I mean, just brilliant. And then finally, the team of the update, I think, the Phillies. I mentioned how they've had a lot of guys pulling the right way for them, including their absolute superstar, Bryce Harper. He's going up to an 88. Maybe he gets to the 89 that we see here. He needs some love for sure. He has a 1285 OPS in the last 2 weeks. Over the last, let's see, let's do since July 1st. I think he's on fire since then. Since July 1st, 1097 OPS. That's absolutely insane for Harper. He's put himself firmly in the MVP candidacy as well. Part of that is due to DeGrom and Tatis getting hurt, but it's not like he's a loser MVP. It's just that he was kind of third on the list, 4th, 5th maybe, depending on how you looked at everything. And now all of a sudden, because of some attrition plus him hitting another gear, he's now a big candidate. And I love Bryce Harper, man. He's so fun to root for. I got him going up to an 88. And that'll do it. That's 42 names, lots of places to invest. I got some new golds, got some new diamonds, got some new silvers. Also some guys who can become the next iterations of those that you can get in on now. Good luck investing. Again, if you subscribe on twitch.tv/spore, you will get the full 92 player list, which includes 11 golds, 4 diamond candidates, 6 guys that are 84, and then 10 others that are 79. So a lot of guys on the cusp there. Hopefully it's a banger of an update. I think there's a lot of potential for it to be. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, y'all. We will do the review on Friday at 2 p.m. Central, twitch.tv/sport. Peace.